Hello everyone and welcome to our project where we build CRM system from scratch. So let's continue and open our server. I hope the sound is better now because people were complaining and I just switched the setting to record, I guess, from my headphones, and let's see how it goes. So let's start the bun server, which is started. It doesn't give me any feedback though, which is weird. Yeah, it started but doesn't say anything. I should probably give some print some logs, but anyway, let's start Tailwind as well, and let's start our bundle. Okay. So what we gonna do today? What we gonna do today? We have our fields, we can reorder them, we can remove them, we can create stuff. Oh yeah, so we didn't finish the pick list situation here, right? So let's probably continue and finish with that. Today is September 21st, and I wanna finish the pick list field type. So right now I can put some options, right? And I want to be able to remove the options as well, right? If I look at the Zoho CRM, we can see that I can remove the options. So render a delete icon in Picklist option field. Okay. Is it? Yeah, it's in this model, and oops, sorry. In this model, it's in the content, right? So we have the field type, and here we have pick list, right? We have the pick list, and we have the field container, and inside of that field container we render, oh, this is for is mandatory, which is not what we need. Let's maybe rename this guy to something more sensible. The field container is mandatory, right? And then we have the header, and we render two options, and then on the bottom we render another option. So whenever we render this stuff, which is line 684, whenever we render this guy, we want to render a delete icon as well. So it's gonna be icon, how do we call it? Delete? Yeah, icon delete. Is it SVG? Yeah, it's SVG. We usually render SVG. It should probably be like the same style everywhere. So maybe I could just um, maybe I could just set, I don't know. Yeah, so maybe I could reuse this part. Like I could just put it here somewhere, like render. Do we have render functions? No, we don't. So render icon delete. And I just can put stuff over here. Icon delete. Right? And then just reuse it. Render icon delete like this, right? So it's in the customize fields. Let's see how it works in customize fields. So it still works, which is nice. And then here we can also render icon delete and put it probably. Okay, so I have a container, and inside of that container I put a picklist option, which is input. So yeah, I can just append another one like this and see how it looks like. Okay, that's some crazy situation. Let's see what it looks like. I have SVG. Oh, and this SVG is like crazy big. Okay, so if I don't have the SVG, it's fine. So I probably should put like a class name here, like flex. Whoa. Yeah, that's no good. Um, why is this guy has so big height? Is it because it's height full? No. Okay, so I probably should limit the height of this guy somehow. Because it's flex. Should I use the same classes like justify start? Okay, so justify start kind of helps. Um, but why are these fields looking okay? I don't quite understand this. Maybe this guy should have class flags as well. Flags call. Yeah, yeah. So this is the one that we have to change. So we should say flex call, and then we should say justify start item center, and then let's maybe render this model all the time. So we wanna render it immediately, right? And then should this height should be like height feet? No. I don't understand why is it so, because SVG is so high. Why SVG so high? Let's see. Render icon delete. So we should add a class. Yeah, we should add a class, which is like height and width and the stuff, right? Maybe this should be like a common class for all the delete icons. Class icon delete, like that. And then class icon delete. Oh, so you actually do like this. Okay. And because we don't have anything inside, so we should have like we should have this guy actually inside. Because it's always the same, I can just put it inside of this function. Like that. And say that it only has one underscore, and this guy doesn't have any underscores. Right? And then we can remove it from here. And now it's gonna look, well, it doesn't look at all. So we have this VG, but it doesn't have the color. And over here it does have the color. Where is the color coming from? Fill red. And over here, does it have fill red? Fill red. Yeah. No errors. Opacity is 0. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So on the group hover, it changes the opacity. I'm not sure I would wanna use this like a common class. I will probably use it case by case, right? Like over here it makes sense, but then because I know the group is somewhere higher here, like I somewhere, yeah. So I declared the group higher, but over here I did not declare the group. So maybe do I wanna do like on the hover? Yeah, I probably wanna do on the hover as well. So I essentially wanna have the same class, but it doesn't make sense to reuse because it can change independently from this place to this place. Like they look the same, but they are not necessarily exactly the same class, semantically speaking. So this will be a group, and on group hover, we will change the opacity of this guy. So now it looks fine. One thing that I wanna have maybe alignment and also more padding. Oh, so it's justify start item center. And because this guy has the margin bottom, we want to remove the margin bottom from the input and put it on a container over here somewhere, right? Now this is in the middle, and increase the gap x2. Yeah, cool. So we rendered the icon. Now we want to do not show the delete icon on the first two options because we should not be able to delete the first two options, right? You see, I can only delete the third one. So that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. I probably can like pass here like icon delete show boolean, and it will say that uh, maybe over here, like if it's true, then it's empty string, otherwise it's hidden, right? And then whenever we call it, over here we say false, false, and on the click of the button we say true. So now we should not render the icon on the first two, but on the third one and on the next ones we do render them. Nice. And now we want to remove the input on the delete icon click. Right. So whenever we click on it, click listener, icon delete, click listener, we want to take the container and remove it like this. Yeah. So this is done. And then on the save, whenever we save stuff, we wanna actually add the field properly, because that now it's like some garbage, empty garbage. On save, properly create a new field in the state. We only need to put it in the state. And now it's how do we create a field here? Um, so on save click, we actually take the stuff from the DOM and create a new field and push it to the used fields, and that's it. And on cancel, we just re-rendered different model. So over here, because we take the input field label and then the type, right, we should be able to already be creating proper field, but let's see. If I say my select, and it's gonna be like A, B, C, I save, it's my select. Okay, so we are already doing properly creating, but we also allow empty value for the label. So that's what we want to fix. Do not allow empty label value. Because over here, if I don't provide the label, it's gonna say me that, right? So we wanna show the user the same stuff. If field label trim length 0, we just return. So we don't do anything, but we are failing for some reason. Oh yeah, so if I don't pick anything, we are failing completely, right? So that's another problem that we wanna fix. Must be a valid CRM field type. This is the failure. So if the field type is empty, we just return. And the same goes for the field label. Must be defined. Input field is mandatory. Oh yeah. So if it's maybe we can just go right here and put it a little bit closer. Right? We shouldn't be failing at all, never. Then if we pick something, we don't do anything as well. If we don't pick anything and write here some text, we also return. And then if we pick Picklist and save, we should not also allow this stuff as well. So do not allow empty options or less than 2 options in a picklist, right? So over here we wanna actually get the values of a picklist. How do we do that? So every time we click on the button, we create a picklist option and add it, right? And then when we click on the save button, we wanna get all the picklist option inputs somehow. We have this elements model where we keep track of all the elements. Maybe we could just, you know, we could just somehow keep the picklist inputs here as well. We have input field label, select field type, input field is mandatory, and then inputs picklist options, which is HTML input element array, right? So we can say that whenever we render an option, we can actually add it to yeah, because we will always have some. Yeah, we can just do like this. We can just have an empty array, that's fine. And then do we wanna insert into this array like on the top level or on the bottom level? We should probably wanna do that on the top level, I guess. But then if we do it on the top level, we have a listener over here that is removing, and it will need to remove from the state as well. Yeah, it's not as nice because if we do like push here, we push our input and then the second input like this, we will have to remove it from here. I don't like this much, actually. I don't like it much. But it can be fine, I guess. Yeah, it can be fine. So basically we say remove from state, and here we say for input of elements model, input speak list options if input equals elements div field input, then we want to remove it. So let's use the index. Let's say I and then we're gonna say splice I one break. Right? And here we add, and whenever we delete, we delete. Yeah, and then on the save click, we're gonna have like elements, model, input, picklist, input picklist options. Let's just log for now. Let's just say picklist A and B, and then save. And we have two inputs. And if we create the third one, we have also two inputs, which is not good. Okay, so yeah, we have to push every time we create. Push this guy input. Yeah, 3. So that's the thing, that like you are trying to make it as perfect as possible, but sometimes it's not perfect, and that's fine. Like yeah, I could make it more nice and spend a lot of time on that, but I don't think it's worth it. Okay, so let's say that if this guy has, first of all, if the field type is picklist, then we want to assert that the count of the inputs must be more or equal to, picklist must have at least two options, actual length, right? And then we want to say, that so the goal is to do not allow empty options or less than 2. If we say that if there is an empty option, do we ignore it or do we show an error like here? Please create at least 2 options, A and B. And I can create. Okay, so we ignore the rest, right? We ignore the rest. Yeah, but at least 2 should be not empty, and they should be first and second. So we're gonna say like 0 value picklist option 1 and picklist option 2 should be non-empty. Do we want to fail? We don't want to fail in this case, actually. We want to show an error. So we want to, let's fail for now, but then change it to the error. Picklist option must not be empty. like this. So now we should see the errors. Yep. Yeah, cool. Now we wanna actually show an actual error like this. So if Picklist options are empty, show an error label. Let's put it somewhere. I guess they should be under the header. Exactly on the top of the options, right? Yeah. We should say like we have the header and we put it over here, and we also should have like a label, maybe not label, maybe like text error pick list options. Text error pick list options, create element, maybe span, and then we put it over here, and we will say that class name is text. Do we have red color already somewhere? Like this color maybe? Red 300. Text red 300. And it should say like, please create at least 2 options. We can actually do it. Yeah, let's just put it over here for now. We can have different text depending on the type of the error. So like this, and then we can say text small and maybe more red, like 500. Maybe 400. Yeah. And then we wanna say that it should be actually on the right side. Do we say like text right? Or what do we do here? Text right, but it's not what we want. How do we align it here? We could align it to the right. I don't know, do we want to align it to the right or keep it on the left side? So all the field labels, sorry, error labels are on the right side. And yeah, it looks nice, actually. Yeah, we wanna do the same. We wanna do the same. We just need to understand how to align it. So right now we have a flex, and then we have a lot of divs, basically. And every div is a flex with the width of the full width. But if we say width, oh yeah, it will be small. We don't want to do that. Maybe if we say text center, it's gonna be better. It's not gonna be always properly aligned, but over here it's also not properly aligned, and it's fine. I don't know. We can say maybe we can say like left 3 by 4 and then relative. Wait, let's try it here. And relative. Oops. Maybe it's like 1 by 2. 1 by 3. Yeah, like that. Probably. Because this has like 3 by 4, the width, and this has 1 by 3. So it's kind of gonna be scaling similar, like together. Yeah. And then we can just hide it. And if we have an error, we wanna say that this elements model will have a reference. Text error picklist options, HTML element. And then we're gonna say like elements model like this. Maybe we can do these references after all the code, then it will be easier to understand after a while when I forget about the logic. Basically, I can just copy it here like this, and then say it like save references in the state. Save the elements references, right? And then save the element reference like this. Remove element reference, right? So now I have consistent comments, and that way it's easier to understand what is going on, right? And then I can just say, if I have any of these errors, I can say elements model class list remove hidden. If this guy is 0 or the next guy is 0. Maybe I should also reset this guy. Yeah, I just assert because these assertions just define whatever I expect no matter what, and I expect it to be defined all the time. So now if I click the button, nothing happens. Great. Just great. Did I actually add anything? Okay, I have it hidden. But okay, yeah, I should have it. Um, so it doesn't have any errors. Oh, that's wrong. Like this. Now, so if Picklist option 1 length is 0 or 2 length is 0. Oh, and I should return. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so I have this guy now, and I can say I want to actually hide it from, I want to hide it, do I want to hide it over here or always? Probably over here. Um, or maybe like add like this. I have it here, and then it should disappear. Doesn't disappear because it returns here already. Okay, now I see. Now I see. Yeah, I should actually add this guy no matter what. Restore from the restored styles from the previous submissions. And inside of that I will just have this one, but over time I can expand it with more logic. Like this, like that. Yeah, now it's working fine. And we wanna do the same if label is empty, show error message as well. Right? So if the label is empty here, it shows the error as well. And it also has some styles, so we will see what we can do here. And also, maybe we wanna, when I click, it's actually hiding the style as well. So I wanna do that first. On focus of any picklist option input, hide the error label as well. Right, so I want to execute this code on any focus situation, and so we don't have a listener here, right? We don't have a listener, so we probably should elements div field svg icon. Can I say like focus listener identifiers when an element has received focus? Yeah, but it should be like this. Input picklist option focus listener. Like that. And it must be defined as well. Right. So whenever we say like this, then we hide it, which is cool. Yeah. Then if label is empty, then we also show the error. So we do similar stuff. We define the text error field label, and then we just assigned it to should it go under or over? It goes under the field, and here it goes over the fields. That's fine. Okay, so if it goes under, I should probably put it after, I don't know, maybe maybe like create a div out of this stuff, wrap the input in a div, and then how they do it, let's see. So they have a container, and it actually crazy. They have so crazy DOM layout. Okay, so they have it like this, position absolute. I see. I don't know if I want to have a position absolute situation. Maybe I won't, because position absolute, whenever this label error label shows up, it does not make the field jump to the top, it stays on the same position, basically. It stays on the same position. So maybe we want to do the same, like this. And it will be span. I can actually use the same styles, right? The same classes for text. Yeah, it can be like class text error, class text error, and then class text error equals this. Yeah. And it should have an inner text which says field label cannot be empty. Cannot be empty. Right? Okay. And now we wanna also do like, I don't know, absolute or relative. Maybe relative. Bottom 0. Right 0. Oh, sorry, not there. Okay, maybe absolute. I'm not as good with this HTML situation. Okay, that's not good. How do we position our model? It's absolute. Yeah, it's absolute. But let's see. Describe something as being, no, CSS. Element is positioned relative to its normal position. Absolute element is positioned absolutely to its first position parent. Okay? To its first position parent. Can I see examples of that? Second element, first element. Second element, position relative. And first element is also position relative, which is 30 pixels left and 70 pixels top. Okay, so that sounds like what I want. Relative. I don't know, do I need like, let's change this guy. Okay, so it's working actually. It's actually working. Can I say like 30%? And then the bottom will be like some percent as well. How do I know what the percent for the bottom should be? I don't know, maybe like minus 30%. No. And let's say that the width will be to fit the text. No? Should it be like, okay, let's just save this guy. So let's say that right will be 30% and bottom will be, how do you say, negative position. No, top. Using negative values. Okay, you say minus and then, so it can be like, to say minus 35 pixels, it can be minus bottom 35 pixels. Like this. Then let's say width of 32. No. Okay, so width should be actually, let's say 3 by 4. Okay, so this guy actually makes it look bad. How do they position this situation? They say position absolute, they say top calculate 100% plus 1 rem. That's cool. Then right 0, left and width. That's cool. 30% plus 35% plus 2 rem. Okay. They use position absolute. Can I use the same style, calc, and position absolute? How to use calc? Use the calc function to update any affected code. How do I use calc function? So Tailwind probably does not support calc function. What the hell is calc function? Lets you perform calculations when specifying CSS property values. That's cool. Okay, so I want to do absolute first of all. And then let's see, where is it? Oh, it's on the bottom. Okay. If I try to do a container, div input container, and let's try to put this guy inside. Okay, and let's maybe do the same. Save the reference, the element reference here. And if I say that I want to put the input container into field container and everything into the input container, except for the label. Label, I want to keep the label here. So maybe like this. Right, so we will have a label. Oh, sorry, no, that's not right. We already have it. Yeah, we have the label and we put the label over here. And then we have the input and the text error. And let's see. Okay, so we save the reference over here. Let's see how it looks like, first of all. Okay, so we have, oh, wait a moment. Yeah, we didn't use the right variable. Okay, let's see. So for the width, we wanna use, first of all, let's see how our positioning of this label works. Do we use like relative? So try to position the error label under the field, right? And let's say relative with relative, well, anyway, so we will say relative, and then it's still here. But why relative should be actually like relative, you know? Why can't I position this guy? Okay, now it's relative. Cool. So relative kind of works, but it it impacts the layout. It impacts the layout, which I don't want. I don't want to impact the layout, right? I want to say absolute, and then I want to say like here, the top will be like this, and the right will be 0, the left will be like this, and the width will be like that. Where is it? Why are you here? Oh, maybe because I should have a class flex, or maybe like relative. Yeah, now it's better. So now it's better. Right. So I should have a class name relative, and then I should have style like top calc 100%, right will be 0, left will be like that, maybe not like that, maybe just minus 35%, and the width will be I don't know, maybe 100%. Let's see. And it's gonna be absolute with all these classes. Okay, so relative. Okay. Now let's fix the width of the. So kind of positioning works, right? Then let's just fix the width of this field. So it's gonna be like that. And then this guy should be maybe like width full, right? And then this guy should be why do I even need left if I can just say right calc 100%, or how many percent, I don't know, 45%. So I can say right calc minus 45%, left will be just nothing, and let's see, and also the text size probably smaller. The text will be like text size, font size, sorry. It's small, it may be like extra small. Right. Yeah, and then it will be maybe like, right, 53% over here. The width will be full, like this. Like that. And a little bit more gap between the fields. So it's margin top. Margin top 4. Right. Yeah, so it's actually gonna be yeah, let's extract this into a class. And here class margin top fields margin top equals like this. Yeah, and here as well. So we have the same consistent margin, right? And then we can increase it to 6. Maybe like 5. Yeah. Maybe 6 more prominent, more obvious that the error is for this field. And then let's just hide it. So let's just make it hidden first. And then we will save it. We'll say like elements model text error field label equals this guy. And then if we have an error here, we're gonna say elements model text error field label class list add remove hidden, and let's put it here as well, and we're gonna assert Text error field label defined like this. So whenever we click, nope, not working. Okay, so it must be defined. Oh, text error picklist options. Yeah, it may be undefined because if it's undefined, then it must be defined over here, of course. But then, yeah, like this. So we have the error here, right? And then we have another field mandatory, which is if the field type is empty, so we wanna validate it only if it's not empty, like this, right? And then if we have a pick list, we have stuff and like this. And when we click on it, we wanna also click on the label input, hide the error label, the error text. So it means executing this code on the field label whenever we focus on the input field label, add event listener, input field label focus listener, like that. And oh, sorry, so basically, yeah, it's all good. It's all good, like that. Oh, add, like this. Right. Okay, and then make a background red if the label is empty. So like this, background and maybe border as well. So whenever we find an error here, we want to say, let's see, we want to take the field error, sorry, field label, take the input, and we have a reference here. So we want to say class list, and is it gonna be like background red 300, something like that, or no, it's gonna be like 100, and then it's gonna be like border red 300. Oops, I got some error. Should I? The token provided contains HTML space. Oh, so I should have like this, right? Yeah. Maybe I can do like 50. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. And then just maybe extract this guy into a class. Mm, because I want to reuse it and use it multiple times. Like using hidden class multiple times is not a problem because it's never gonna change. But using these guys in various places, we may want to change them, right? You may want to change them over time. So how do we actually do it? If I use an array like this, is it gonna work? Let's see. No, it's not gonna work. So maybe we either have to extract, because if I extract like this, yeah, I can say like one string like this and then say split by space and then for each of those guys just add them, you know. So I can say, sorry, class input error equals this string, and then I can say like for each class of split, like it's wasteful because like it's not necessarily that I wanna execute this split and then a loop, but I guess it's fine for now. It's fine like that, right? And then if I wanna remove them, I can just do this. And then on click as well. And say remove, right? So I have an error, now I don't have an error, like this. So we got some nice error handling going on. And let's finish with saving the field. Oh, and saving the field is also working, right? So I have my Picklist field, and then I have my options, and one more thing that is left is making sure that um, on the saving we wanna actually save in the state, save the Picklist values, the Picklist, the field values, the field Picklist values in the state, right? So over here we can say like probably in the CRM field we should have in the type we can say pick list values, and it will be like array of strings, and it can be undefined, right? And then we can say pick list values. It will be either array of strings or undefined. Maybe like that. And then we assign it here. And if it's picklist field, so we say like for const input of elements model inputs picklist options, we actually create an array and then push values into this array. Input value, right? Like that. Then whenever we push, we have our state and we can just log it. My custom picklist field, picklist option A, B, C, mandatory, save, and we have my custom picklist field, which is used, and it has picklist values of 3 elements, A, B, and C, right? Which is super cool. I think that's enough. So we finished the picklist field type completely. Let's commit our work for today. So what did we do today? We created picklist values in state, a bunch of classes for styling, and then we reused the delete icon. Then we used that as well. We created a bunch of references, class for styling. We did a bunch of styling work. And then we added error labels and error handling for the form. And then what else? Yeah, so we now can render delete icon for the pick list, and we can also handle error handling here as well, right? Error labels, some references, and yeah, some more error handling. Okay, let's remove this guy. How do you remove it? Yeah, like that. And yeah, and that's it. So it's CRM, add, save pick list values, add error handling, and displaying the errors in the UI. And the docs. So that's it for today, guys. Oh, you know what? I also broke my old fields that I had in my memory, so maybe let's just fix those as well, because they are not pick list values. You know what? I can actually say that the type can omit It can emit this stuff, so they are not broken now. Yeah, that's better now. Make the picklist values in CRM field optional, so it doesn't break the other fields that are not picklist type. Yeah, so our CRM over time becomes more and more interesting now. We have our fields. We don't know how to render them yet, so that's probably one of the next good steps for us. And we also don't have the editing functionality here, so we cannot change the field once it's created, which is also good to have. Yeah, a lot of stuff to do, and overall, so far, I'm really happy how it goes. We also have layout problem here, so whenever we open a model, we should forbid the scrolling, which is annoying. But overall, the performance looking good. If we just reload, it's reloaded like in, I don't know, in 100 milliseconds here, right? But if we reload real CRM here, it's really slow, even if it's like empty columns. Here it's like maybe 4 seconds. Like after the mark of about 4 seconds, it stops, and that's crazy. Yeah, this is the range. So that's crazy. 4 seconds. And our like 100 milliseconds. This is the difference, guys. 40 times faster, which I like. Thanks everyone for being with me today, and see you on the next video.